Hello gamers, it has been a while since I've had consistent uploads on this channel, even though at the start of the year I said I was going to upload every week. Now, as I've mentioned before, some of that was due to COVID and other health related issues. But recently, well, the main cause has been the amazing game Helldivers 2, a game I haven't stopped playing for weeks on end at this point. Now, if you couldn't have guessed by the name, it is not the first installment in the Helldivers series. Helldivers 1 being a game that I'd never heard before, never played, and never seen anything of. The only thing I really know about it is the fact that it looks almost nothing like Helldivers 2, as 2 is a over-the-shoulder sort of POV and 1 is a top-down game. But Helldivers 2 was also a game I had never seen anything in terms of marketing leading up to it, which, as I mentioned in the Star Wars video, might not be a good thing. But considering how big this game has become, I'm going to say it didn't need the marketing. Although I will say I believe, I don't even know for sure, but I think I saw one trailer for the game at the Game Awards show a couple years back. But I can't even remember at that point. I think I thought it was just going to be another live service sort of trashy looter shooter sort of thing. To the point where I don't even know if that game I'm thinking of that I saw the trailer for at the Game Awards is this game. And I'm not going to look it up because I could spend that time spreading managed democracy. So, what are Helldivers? Helldivers are a selection of people serving in an elite fighting force, freeing planets from the tyranny of bots and bugs alike, making sure that they know the way of freedom, liberty, and most importantly, managed democracy. The game has no story to speak of apart from the main gameplay loop, being the Helldivers trying to liberate planets and take control from the bots and or bugs, and whatever other unknown threats lurk in the outer reaches of space. Now, you can randomly pick a planet that you want to fight on to try to help liberate that planet. However, if you can't make up your mind, the game also has major and minor orders for players to take part in. Now, this is basically your weeklies and dailies in any other sort of MMO game where the dev picks a planet or group of planets for the players to try to liberate or defend, as the bots and bugs can actually take planets back, and then it initiates a defense phase where if enough Helldivers don't try to defend the planet, we will lose it to the bugs and have to go back and have to retake Helmir again. I hate Helmir, oh my god. I don't want to just ignore that. We're going to skip that. I hate Helmir. Something I like a lot, however, about Helldivers is that everything you do has a community sort of feel and effect to it, to where at least at this point in the game, there is no PvP mode. I mean, apart from killing your teammates with orbital strikes or shotgunning them in the back of the head, but that's not the purpose of the game, as it seems that the devs tried very hard to remove sort of competitiveness between players as much as possible, and therefore move that competitiveness onto the bots and the bugs and Joel, which is a topic we'll cover in a second. Even to the point where when you are out in the open world collecting samples or other currencies the game has, it is always shared between everyone on your drop squad. No matter who collects it or who gets it back to your super destroyer, your whole team will be rewarded with those samples. Now, if you spend any amount of time on Helldivers TikTok or the subreddit or even YouTube videos like this one here, you will have heard of the apparent godlike person referred to as Joel. Joel being an all-knowing, omnipresent, but most importantly, he is the reason we lost the creek. So, who is Joel? Joel is an employee or maybe even group of employees at Arrowhead, the developers of the game, who's basically like a dungeon master for the game. Is Joel his real name? Is it more than one person? And what are the limits to his power? Who really knows? And that's not really important. What is important is that Joel is able to keep the game fresh, sending us divers to a bunch of planets to attempt to free, and then doing everything in his power to stop us from taking that planet he has told us to take. If that's launching an attack on another planet to try to redirect super Earth forces, or even launching attacks on planets to block supply lines to the current planet we're trying to take, all the way down to affecting the weather or how long it takes us divers to get our weapons in order to fight Joel. But Joel also has the power to help divers by giving them access to new stratagem weapons for free for limited times, so that we can decide if we want to spend our well-earned democracy money on them. Now, it is only fair that I mention some things that I maybe dislike a little bit about Helldivers. Firstly, it's the fact that everyone still goes to Malevelon Creek when we have a major order telling us to take a bunch of different planets. Although I should also mention that was a while ago when I wrote this script, and we have actually taken the creek and defeated all the bots, and then they've come back. But still, oh my god, so many major orders were failed because of the goddamn divers on the creek. But jokes aside, there is one thing I actually sort of don't like about the game, and that is something that a lot of live service games and even MMOs do, and that is having so many different currency types in the game. Now, a lot of live service games do have these multiple currencies, so they can get you to spend lots of real life money on lots of different currencies throughout the game. Now, this is something where Helldivers sort of falls into that hole, but at the same time, it's not that bad. Now, I won't say they never will, because I'm too jaded to say that, but at this point in the game's release, I feel there are super credits, which is the currency you pay real life money for. First of all, a very reasonable price for the game. I think it's like 30 Australian dollars for the max amount of super credits that you buy at once, which compared to other games is pretty good. And super credits can always be attained through the open world and collecting them, or you can also buy them throughout the game's battle pass. And in order to buy stuff from the battle pass, also referred to as war bonds in this game, you need a bunch of war bond medals, which can once again be collected in the open world. However, you also get war bonds upon the completion of missions and major and minor orders, giving out different amounts based on difficulty. And then there is requisition slips, which can also be collected during missions and is automatically given out as a reward, once again based on difficulty. And rec slips are used to buy more stratagems within your ship's upgrade center. And then lastly, in order to upgrade your ship, you need to collect samples from planets. And you also, unlike other currencies, need to successfully extract from the planet to keep your samples. And of course, there are 3 different types of samples to collect and upgrade your ship with. Getting the rarer samples on the harder difficulties you playing. Having common samples, which are available on all difficulties. Rare samples, which are available on most difficulties. And super rare samples, which are only available on the 3 hardest difficulties. And those difficulties are definitely hard, I can say that. But that is basically the only thing I dislike about this game, and at the same time with saying that, I do get why they give you so much to collect, so there's always something for you to do. Anyways, let's end this video with something I found fantastic about this game, and that is the fact that this game has given me hope that not all live service games are complete and utter garbage via trash. Now, don't get me wrong, I still very much dislike the genre of live service games. And this game doesn't make me want to play more games within this genre, it just makes me want to play this game more. But it does show me that maybe there are some live service games out there that aren't just created to take all of my money. But unfortunately, the large majority of them are. That's why I can respect this game even more than I do for it just giving me some fun time and stuff to do. So after spending so many hours playing Helldivers 2, I look forward to playing it even more. And if you are watching this video and for some reason haven't played this game before, I highly recommend checking it out. But I have spent too much time making this video at this point, so make sure to like and subscribe as my democracy officer is starting to question my motives. So it's time to get back out there and start spreading managed democracy for Super Earth.